All right, so for those joining us, this is PU Prime. We're a global brand with head office globally in Australia, and we have two offices in Nigeria, Abuja and Lagos. Abuja is the head office for Nigeria, while Lagos is the regional office, and we hold training sessions at these two locations every Tuesday and Thursday. So today is a training session for beginners where we have the beginners class, and Thursday we have the intermediate and the advanced class. And don't forget, tomorrow we're having our CPI, that's Consumer Price Index, which will be trading live. Last Friday, we had NFP, we had a blast. It was a very wonderful session with people making profit from trading live with us. We have qualified analysts who will take you through this trading session. So be a part of tomorrow's live trading, session. Christmas is around the corner. You need to start making the dollars to make this Christmas a good one. So make sure you join us tomorrow by 2:30 p.m. In fact, let me say 2:15 p.m. because we start analysis by 2:15, while we'll take the news by 2:30 p.m. All right, so we'll go to what we'll have this afternoon. This afternoon session, there is no tradable event. You can see this is Forest Factory. And the only thing is OPEC meetings is holding all day and it's not a tradable event. So we're going to exit this now and go straight to the charts to see what we have. Good afternoon, Madam Onaji. You're welcome. So I'll flip over to MetaTrader and we'll look at what we have. Before I share what we have, let me just bring an update on some of the analysis we had yesterday for the week. Please make sure your devices are muted so that it doesn't cause distraction. All right, so yesterday morning I gave quite a number of analysis, and that was a specific signal I gave on the USD CHF, which didn't go as planned. Such could happen because it's really showing that it's like the dollar wasn't so stable. Even though the setup was quite perfect, we have a support, a resistance to support on the daily time frame, and that's here. In fact, it's a previous key level. I mean, it's a key level from previous time, previous support, turn resistance, then turn support again with a rejection candle, and we anticipated a bullish breakout on the USD CHF. That's daily, and on 1 hour, we had an inverse head and shoulder with price already breaking the neckline. Technically, there was nothing wrong with the setup, but then maybe as a fallout of the NFP, the market wasn't stable, and that was a losing trade. Though it looks like price is trying to go back up, but then as of yesterday, that signal didn't work out as expected, and that's why I always tell us always make sure you have your stop loss in place. There are times eventualities will happen in the market that we didn't plan for, but then there were other setup I gave yesterday which I analyzed as weekly outlook, which is working perfectly fine. One is the GBP JPY. I told us that GBP JPY will bullish this week. I gave the analysis from weekly down to 4 hour. And between yesterday morning and now, BTC USD, sorry, I said BTC GBP JPY, pardon me, has moved to the tune of over 100 pips. So if you used that analysis to your advantage, you'll be over 100 pips in profit on the GBP JPY. And similarly, I gave a Euro JPY. Euro JPY has not moved as much as GBP JPY, but then it's at least has seen a high of about some 15 pips thereabouts, currently retracing, but then we still anticipate, a bullish continuation. But even if it's the GBP JPY you took a loan from yesterday, you'll have been up at least between 50 to 100 pips by now. All right. Now, for today, what do we have today? Still the JPY PS. It looks like we're in the JPY season. Now, if you're already on some of the JPY trades, I'll tell you to be cautious in adding more trades. It's not the best to have similar kind of PS. You have like 3-4 trades open. That may not be too safe. 1 or 2 is okay, but anything beyond that, you need to trade with a lot of caution. Now, I'm seeing a bullish opportunity on the AUD JPY and the New Zealand JPY. Now, it's still evolving. It may require some patience, but then this is the next big move I'm expecting on these two instruments. For the AUD JPY, we can see on the weekly time frame, price is trending up. We have an uptrend, and on the daily, yeah, yesterday closed as a bullish engulfing pattern. Now, that's a confirmation of a bullish breakout still in the upside direction, just like what we saw on the weekly time frame. So we have a strong bullish potential on the AED-JPY, and on the 4 hour. Now, this is my anticipation on the 4 hour, an inverse head and shoulder, which will lead to a massive bullish breakout. So entry is going to be when price breaks above the neckline, above this region. Now it's looking bullish already, but then I will not encourage you enter yet because the pattern is still forming. But once it breaks above that neckline region over there, that will be a time to trigger the bullish trade on the AUD JPY. And we can look at Fibonacci also to gauge, to give us more insight. And you can see the blue line I drew is exactly on the Fibonacci 38.2. That tells you that that is a strong level. We need to wait for price to break out before we take an entry. So if price breaks above Fibonacci 38.2, we anticipate a bigger move on the AUD JPY. And if you target Fibonacci 50, Fibonacci 50 can give as much as 70 pips. Fibonacci 0.8 can give as much as 140 pips thereabout. And Fibonacci 78.6 can give as much as about 240 pips. So these are big one we are anticipating on the AUD JPY. So let's keep our fingers crossed as it evolves. And secondly, the New Zealand JPY. It's having similar pattern with the AUD JPY, so I wouldn't waste too much time going into details like I did. It's the same inverse head and shoulder pattern, which will lead to a bullish breakout. So these are the two major pairs I'm looking at in this season. Aside the GBJPY that has already triggered, this is also expected to trigger. And the patterns here, they are much more clearer even than the one I gave yesterday on the GBP-JPY and the EUR-JPY. The only rule here, like I said, is to wait for price to break above the neckline before you trigger a buy. All right, so those are the two JPY pairs. Then I'm looking at gold. Now, the gold setup today is going to be an intraday setup. All right, so this is gold. I'll delete all the things I've drawn and start afresh. Now, gold on the daily, this is the daily time frame for gold. And we can see that gold on the daily time frame is trading within a symmetrical triangle. Now, if you followed my trainings a lot, you discover that symmetrical triangles are one of the very easy patterns to trade because if price breaks out upwards, it's a buy, and if it breaks out downwards, it's a sell. But that's a daily time frame. So we'll flip over to the 4 hour and we can see the symmetrical triangle clearer. Now, price is trying to break out above on the upside here, but then there's a little caution around that region, and that's the fact that if you zoom down, you discover that that place where we're expecting or where we have seen a possible breakout, price is also trying to form a double top pattern around that area. So this is a double top, and this might lead to a bearish movement. So if it works out as a double top, we can go to a lower time frame like the 1 hour. It means we'll be looking for a breakout downwards. And if that is what will happen, this region becomes our neckline. So if price breaks out below this region, then we'll see a trigger to trigger a bearish movement, on gold. Otherwise, if price goes back up, you can see it's retracing at the moment and breaks above the current resistance, then we may see a bullish breakout. So it's actually in between, though I'm more favorable towards a bearish breakout because of the potential double top pattern that we're seeing. So if price breaks above the upside, we may see some bullish movement, but then I look forward to a more of a bearish breakout because of the double top pattern that is forming on the 1 hour and the 4 hour and the 1 hour time frame. So we have a long-term bearish movement and a shorter term bullish movement. So we'll wait for and see which one works out best out of the two to take a decision on gold. And I gave a setup on USD card yesterday, which is yet to evolve. Sorry, which is yet to break out rather, but the pattern is still very much evolving. All right, and this is what we have. Remember from yesterday, we have a rising wedge. So internally, this is a head and shoulder, which is expected to trigger a bearish breakout. Then we have a resistance here. So if price breaks out downwards, it's a swing setup. We'll see a bearish movement on USD card. So we're still very much in favor of that bearish breakout. And finally, we look at NAS 100. All right, so this is NAS 100. Now this, if this breaks out, to be honest, this can be a major trade to milk for the week. Now this is NAS 100 on the 4 hour. Okay, let's start from the daily. On the daily time frame, we can see that we have a rising wedge pattern, and price has hit the higher high multiple times. And 2 days ago, okay, that should be Friday, price hit the higher high the third time, or sorry, the fourth time, which is technically going to give us a bearish movement. And a further confirmation to that, yesterday's candlestick was a bearish candle. Now, if we go over to the 4 hour time frame, we can clearly see that price is forming a head and shoulder pattern, which is expected to trigger a bearish breakout. And we can still, so either you're a swing trader or day trader, this is perfect for either day trading or swing trading. So on 1 hour, it is still the same head and shoulder that is forming, which is expected to trigger a bearish breakout. So what I'll do is to have the neckline region here, and it could happen in the course of today. The time is just still around 1 p.m. If price breaks out below this region, then that will trigger the bearish movement on NAS 100. And with a word of caution, this instrument can be very volatile. So if things go all well as planned, that should also give a lot of profit, because if you look at it on this angle, it's actually a rising wedge. It's a rising wedge pattern. So we have a lot of confluence. Rising wedge on daily, rising wedge on 1 hour, head and shoulder on 1 hour. We're looking at a bearish breakout on NAS 100. So I'm bearish on NAS 100. So two setup we have for this afternoon, which are intraday gold and NAS 100. And I favor more bearish setup on gold and bearish on NAS 100. For the other two which are swing, that's GB, AUD JPY, New Zealand JPY, they are bullish on 4 hour. And the USD card would actually anticipate a bearish breakout on 4 hour for that. All right, so that will be all from my end this afternoon. And I'll attempt to fill the questions and we'll close. All right, Augustin Sonny is asking to check USD CHF, Piscine, AUD JPY. I already gave AUD JPY, Piscine. We are bullish on the 4 hour. And Clement is asking about GBP USD. Okay, Modelo also asked me to check AUD US. So I think I will start with that because that's the first comment and the first request I have. So I'll start with the AUD USD. Now for AUD USD, if you watched my analysis yesterday, I was bullish on it for the week. So I think maybe you must have entered a little bit too early, because another thing you need to note if you're trading, always check the news. Because last night there was a news from Australia. So if you're a swing trader, a note for swing traders, if you're a swing trader, even though you are trading on 4 hour, before you place a trade, always check the Forex factory site to know of any upcoming event. And if the currency you want to trade, there's an upcoming event on it, it's advisable you wait, let the event pass before you trade. Or better still, if the news now comes out in line with your analysis, then you trigger the trade. That's preferable. Now, for AUD, there was a news earlier in the morning that that's a cash rate, and it did affect the market. The movement of the AUD across board has been bullish, but that news actually came out equal to forecast, and it showed the market into some retracement. So that is what you are seeing currently on the AUD USD. It's actually a retracement, because if you look at it on a closer picture, we have a falling wedge, which is expected to trigger a bullish breakout, and it's also forming an inverse head and shoulder, which will still go up. All right. So now I don't know what extent of uh exposure you have at the moment. You said AED is it forming a W? It's not a W. It's not a W. It's forming an inverse head and shoulder on 4 hour. All right. Let's check 1 hour. It's clearer on 4 hour as an inverse head and shoulder compared to 1 hour. So I'll go more with the 4 hour. The pattern is clearer on the 4 hour than 1 hour. So you know, I'm already in a buying position. Now, if you say you're already in a buying position, I believe currently maybe you're in negative, except you are not, but that's what I think. Do you think it's possible to swing it despite the upcoming CPI release tomorrow? That's a good question. Now, there's CPI tomorrow, which is a dollar news, and this is AED USD, which is also a dollar related pair. So I will advise, if you have not triggered, okay, so you're already in a buying position. Well, since you're already in a buying position, I will advise you put your stop loss in place just in case. Now, we don't know the direction of the CPI yet. We've not done analysis yet for CPI. If the news comes out good for the dollar, then AD USD, may just remain within this pattern. But if the news comes out bad for the dollar, then that will lead to the trigger, of the AUD USD. So a bad data for the dollar tomorrow is what is required to push the currency AUD USD in a bullish direction, which you are already on. And honestly, we can't decide that yet. We can't give you that outlook yet until tomorrow. So all I can advise is that make sure you have your stop loss in place just to protect you in case things did not go as planned. So that's my response to Mo Bello. All right, you're welcome. Okay, so for others, Zara Dean, I just responded to AED USD. Uh, Clement, GBP USD. Now, for most of the people asking questions about the dollar, to be honest, dollar is not stable at the moment. Either for GBP USD and others, it's not so stable. Tomorrow might decide better, might have a clearer outlook on the dollar tomorrow because of the CPI. CPI will give us a clearer picture on the dollar. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to make much comment on the other dollar related pairs because the dollar is not too stable. I've analyzed ADJPY, so we're bullish on 4 hour. Even Euro USD, all those dollar pairs, please be very, very cautious with them. Dollar is not looking too stable at the moment, so be very cautious with all the dollar pairs. US 30, Joe Korea, I've analyzed gold. We're bearish on gold on the longer term. Short term could be bullish, but we are focused more on the bearish direction on gold on 1 hour. That's what Joshua Corey. Christopher is asking about US 30, so I'll look at that. Yeah, I just mentioned gold now. That's a piece KD. Oh, he said I'm still on Forex Factory. Pardon me, I thought I've moved back. So you should be seeing my screen now. You said we're going to trade live tomorrow. Yes, we're trading live. We're trading CPI live tomorrow. Time is 2:15 p.m. So make sure you join us by 2:15 p.m. We're trading CPI live tomorrow. And join us with a live account. We're not joking there, we're not playing, we're making money. Christmas is around the corner. So come with your live account as we trade by 2:15 p.m. Analysis will start by 2:15 p.m. while the news will be released by 2:30. So between 2:15 and 2:30, we'll analyze the market. We'll tell you our view, from technical analysis and other and my fundamentals where we believe the market will go. And we'll also give you the signal. We're going to be providing live signal, entry, take profit, and stop loss. And please make sure you join early so that you don't miss out on any part. Some people will join exactly maybe 2:26 p.m. and they'll be asking where is the signal. Join early so that you be a part. You need to know the reason. And besides, don't just always focus on signals. Focus on the education. Know the reason why we're giving the signal. Know the reason why we're telling you this is our direction and this is our entry, take profit, stop loss. That way you understand the market better. If all your focus is just signal, you will not be able to go far as expected as a trader. All right, so that'll be all from me this afternoon. Don't forget, intraday this afternoon, we're looking at NAS 100 and we're looking at gold. Before I go, okay, somebody asked about US 30. We'll look at that, and that will be the last analysis I'm doing. All right, so this is US 30. On the daily time frame, we have a channel more like that looks a lot like a rising wedge on the daily time frame, and price is currently trading uh price is trading around this resistance turn a minor support here. So if you go down to 4 hour, this is what we can see, and 1 hour. We might be expecting a slight bullish movement on US 30 because of that support zone. Might be waiting for a breakout in the upside direction. So if price breaks out above the trend line with your RSI above 50, you may trigger a buy on the US 30. Zaradin, I said the dollar pairs are not too stable at the moment. There's no clarity. So I can't tell you whether it's bullish or bearish. So for the US 30, we're expecting a bullish breakout. See, it's not all the time a currency will have a trade. That's the truth. It's not all the time. There are times when there is no clarity, and when there's no clarity, just stay out. All right, so for US 30, we're expecting a bullish breakout when price breaks above the trend line and your RSI is clearly above 50. All right, so that'll be all this afternoon. Trade safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.